We are T-minus 1 month, 1 day away from Street Fighter 6's release. So I'm super stoked. Well, we've got other things to talk about, not just some Street Fighter 6, even though that is going to be a little bit of the meat and potatoes today. But let's just jump right into it, man. Let's just get into it right here into our Fighters Corner. Let's get into some Street Fighter 6 off the rip, man, because we got plenty to talk about there. So, yeah, so there have been some waves, man. I mean, the demo's been out, right? The demo's been out. It's been out now for, I want to say, when did it go out? It was like a little over a week now, right?
Well, the 26th was the Steam
Excuse
one.
me. The 26th was the Steam one,
say
yes. Correct.
2 weeks already, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
We did talk about it last show.
Yeah. So it's now out on Steam. Modders, I will tell you right now, Capcom, I plead the fifth. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not incriminating myself in any way, shape, or form. But I have heard that the modders have dug into that super fast, into the the back ends of Street Fighter 6, the demo on PC, trying to see if we can unlock any of those other characters. I don't say we as in I'm a part of that. I'm just saying we in general as us players. There's gonna be a lot of legal talk this week. A lot of legal speak. Yes and no questions only, please.
Jargon.
A lot of that. But yeah, so they kind of went in, unpacked the game. There are some mods that you can apply to it, but there's no data there for unlocking the other players, the other characters, which I'm not surprised. I kind of talked about it in last week's episode. I don't think Capcom was just gonna let that shit fly like that. Like they're clearly taking precautions. Because Street Fighter 6, man, it's a new title, a numerical title to the greatest series that they've ever created, to a genre that it's created on its own, and the first one, in this new generation, right, and kind of a pivotal time for video games, for fighting games, for competitive games, and they're not fucking around.
Yeah, I mean, why did it? I don't know. How do I say this? Why even put it on Steam? The beta, the demo?
Because you know what? Because they didn't want what happened to fucking Jedi Survivor happen to Street Fighter 6. And we're talking a company that is multiple times bigger than Capcom. We're talking about EA, obviously.
Yeah.
And they couldn't come out. I mean, sure. Is Street Fighter 6 doing incredible photorealistic scans and techniques to make it look the way it does, like Jedi Survivor? No, still looks great though. Don't get me wrong, still looks amazing. Right. I want to be very, very clear there. But when that's what happens when you don't kind of test that. You have to put it out there in the field. You don't know until you get that big piece of data to sample from. When it comes
is online really bad?
No, it's just the game is terrible on PC. There are so many PCs, like high-end PCs are okay. It's like, but there's like incredible incompatibility with certain drivers and certain just complete like PC setups that people specifically PC just are not having a good time. They don't want that to happen.
Combat.
Yeah, they don't want that happening, right? You don't want to have a bad port. So they got to put it out there, man. They got to see if there is going to be an issue, catch it now as fast as possible, right? I'm not saying it'll unfortunately be fixed in time. For a month, maybe, you're a month out. There could be some tweaks done for like a day one patch. But yeah, of course, they had to put it out on all consoles, especially like I said, now it's such a pivotal time for fighting games that, we're getting, like I said, MSIs now involved in more tournaments, right? So you kind of want to make sure your games are playing fun, good with them. That opens up doors, relationships. This it's a whole business aspect to it, as well as just supporting the amount of PC gamers that have increased over the past couple of years, right? Due to one of the big things, obviously, since quarantine, right? Everybody was gaming, so they had to. They really had to show it out. They had to put it out there, so that way it could be out in the field and they could get all that data to be collected. But yeah, I mean, regardless, the demos, everyone's trying to, we talked about it last week. Everyone's trying to defeat level 8 Ryu, max advantages, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Out of 400 times.
But if that was a dub, I don't care. If that was tournament stats, that means if that was your last tournament placement and performance, then you did really good. You're only as good as your last tournament appearance, right? So right. So we've had the demo, people have just been playing it, and there have been some developments since. So actually, 2 days after the demo went live, we had a tweet come out from Capcom Fighters, official Capcom Fighters Twitter. You can tell it's official because it's got a gold check mark. That's how you know. So they've actually finally gone ahead and acknowledged the closed beta test crack. You know, Momochi was kind of already making waves talking about it, and funny enough then to see Capcom then almost kind of pseudo replied afterwards is really interesting on the timing. But stating now, it's come to our attention some users have been accessing the closed beta software and playing the game outside of designated period. It's a violation of the CBT terms of service and can be seen as a violation of the Capcom Pro Tour Code of Conduct. For the avoidance of doubt, from this point forward, any player who is shown with, keywords here, clear evidence to be accessing the CBT in an unauthorized way may be determined ineligible for the upcoming Capcom Pro Tour and Street Fighter League seasons. It's with an S at the end. I know I made it sound very Z-like, but that's with an S. We appreciate your cooperation and understanding in helping maintain the fairness and competitive integrity of our competitions. So, a couple things to take away from here, right? Some really interesting stuff, the way they wrote this. If you take it at the highest, surface level, it's a warning. It's like, hey, we find out you're doing it, you get banned. But there's little intricacies in here. I don't know if you've noticed it when reading it, but one of the first big things I want to say is that first sentence in the third, I want to say paragraph, just the third sentence. That's a whole damn sentence, isn't it? Yeah, that's a long ass sentence.
Yep.
For the avoidance of doubt, from this point, emphasis on this point forward.
Right.
Meaning anything before, this was tweeted out, 28th, right? 28th. From the 28th forward, any player who is shown with clear evidence to be accessing the CBT in an authorized way, blah, 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 blah. So what they're saying, from what I'm looking here, in clear black and looks like to be sky blue, they aren't counting allegations or maybe talks about certain
accidental
players.
stream
pushes.
Sorry,
exactly.
There's this one that I've seen that's blatant, and it's just like,
yeah. There's
so
several.
we're just gonna show favor there. Cool.
Maybe even YouTube creators that are also maybe part of the Capcom creators, camp, stuff like that, right? Like they're kind of looking at all the fields here. So saying from this point forward, from the 28th of April till when the game comes out, that's when they're going to look at that. So if you're going to look at your timestamps, people have already talked stuff about other players that we've even said, in certain tournaments that already went down, that like clearly you have the crack, he has the crack, he's been playing it, that's why he's so good, right? They're ignoring all of that. They're not going to backlog and backpedal on all that until they've deemed it that they were acknowledging it. So that's interesting. That saves a lot of face for a lot of players, known or otherwise, right?
Right.
And creators as well. So that's how you can now take that if you were to, like I said, take this as black and white. It's from the 20th moving forward, and then the clear evidence is I guess they need a smoking gun. Like we need the VOD, we need the timestamp, we need to know exactly when, because I mean, like I know the internet went nuts. Like I just fucking love the internet when everyone just starts putting their reactions. The LeBron James gif pulls the ref, like starts pointing here, right here, here, or the phone call guys. Like I get mixed one time. Excuse me, Capcom, right? Like I felt the same way. I was like, bro, if I'm in grand finals, I get mixed really bad, and come to find out I knew this guy was playing the crack. I'd be right down the side. I'm like, yeah, good job, good game.
Man in the audience.
I was
pre-show.
Yeah. Random man in the audience
from pre-show. Wow, that combo is really good.
Shout outs to Tega. We know Tega was playing rude like that. We know that was real. That was as real as it gets. It's just James Chen clearly didn't know who the rando was, but all love. But yeah, it was fucking hilarious. You know why? Because when that money is on the line, bro, $1 million first place, shit, allegiances are going to go down. Do you think this will be? Do you think we'll actually see a situation like that in the future?
Of what? What type of situation?
somebody trying to dime somebody else out. You think we'll see
Oh.
that? Like at that level. Like say fucking top 32's decided for Pro Tour. Do you think we're gonna then get a Capcom Pro Tour branded tweet? It'll be like, upon an anonymous tip about so and so player, we have come to under the investigation to find out that this player did indeed play. Blah, blah, blah.
And the subtweet is gonna be like the evidence.
Yeah, like do you think?
And it's freaking attorney. What's this called? Phoenix Wright. Just
Phoenix
like,
Wright. Yeah. Yo, do you think we actually might get something like that?
I don't know. I really don't know. But this is great. I wouldn't know. Like, how do you enforce that upon? Like, that's really low. But I mean, these are the same people that would push that.
It's a million, but static. It's a million
no.
dollars.
That's what I'm saying. These are the same people that will take the game if their friend paused it in front of them. You know, like remember Flux said, "Yo, if my mom paused the game, I'd still take it."
Damn, that's real. That's real. That's real. That's real.
Yeah. Well,
there you go. Yeah, you know what? Perfect. Shogun on Twitter. Shogun on Twitter. Definitely starting now. Exactly. Starting now. Everybody, shut the fuck up.
The Kramer. Yeah.
Nobody say anything.
So funny.
If you snitch, you know what happens to snitches. I'm not gonna keep going, but you know.
Yeah, but you know, it's something that I did bring up last week that we brought it up. 6ix9ine. That's funny. I said, you know, if you're playing the whatever crack beta, you're still gonna have to deal with what 8, 9 other characters.
That's the other thing. Exactly. That's why I'm like, I'm not sweating it that hard, to be honest. Like, yes, like whoever the Ryu and Luke maids are gonna be, y'all gonna be insane when the game drops, because that's all motherfuckers have been playing. Yeah, that's all motherfuckers have been playing. So that's gonna be fresh. And Luke and Ryu are going to just be the most common characters you're going to find. I mean, there was already a high chance that Luke and Ryu could be more Ryu. We're gonna be like some of the more common characters they're gonna see out there, especially early on, because people are jumping in. Ryu's the Mr. Street Fighter, right? Luke is supposed to be the new Mr. Street Fighter, so maybe, you know, you can kind of, you know, dip your toes there. But now the fact that those two are the only ones in the demo, like those lobbies, that matchup is going to get learned so quick, because those lobbies are going to be full of them.
Yeah. No, it's going to be something interesting. If I'm having trouble like now with the computers, I'm doing the CPU 8 and all that stuff. Like, this game's hard.
yeah, basically.
So like, I don't. I'm speechless as to what to expect. It's gonna be very funny. Like week 1, or even as CEO, everybody's gonna be getting side eye. Like, if you're not picking Luke or Ryu, you're definitely gonna be getting side eye.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, it was interesting that the Cap cops were out here full force to tell us. But now we know, right? Now we know. Yeah. Check yourself starting now.
Somebody said a safe jump, like immediately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see him next. I'm going to CEO. CEO's gonna have the most call out. Yo, Jabali, I hope your TOs are ready. Hope your TOs are ready for the snitching. Hope. If Jabali was smart, he set up like an anonymous hotline, like right there to run to the phone to call on somebody,
or a cap button, like a button at the table. Just beep, 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 beep,
maybe we should show up there with a phone, right, and be like, just roll up on people and be like, "Have you found anybody?" And just make confessions. Be like, "Yo, no names," but then just say what happened. Oh, I think I got an idea.
Or the quiet box room that's like the sort of like interview room for like Survivor.
exactly,
or Big Brother.
Oh my.